So Kate and Meghan's rift.
There were tensions backstage, and you have to know where you are in the pecking order. I don't think they were ever going to be close mates, and obviously they weren't. She pushed for Recollections May Vary to go in there, just making a little point. Okay, that's your truth. That was the beginning of the end, really.
So where do they stand, Harry and Meghan, now in Hollywood?
The more reality shows you appear on, that is an issue.
Well, what about Invictus Games? Because we were told basically that it's on the brink.
On the finances, it must be difficult. You need some big money behind it. And it is obviously completely toxic. They had to get him as far away as possible. I mean, it's almost unprecedented what's happening. To be de-princed.
Who is the real Meghan Markle? Hello and welcome to today's very special Daily Expresso. I'm JJ Anisiobi, but more importantly, I'm joined by one of Britain's longest serving royal correspondents, Simon Vigar. Vigar like tiger.
Vigar like tiger.
Vigar like tiger. Love it. So your new book, The Four Wives of Windsor. I actually love it.
Oh, great.
I like it's very interesting. And we're gonna dissect through and go through all of the
go
women.
for it.
We'll start with Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
So she's back. She's back on TV. She's getting around now.
MasterChef, yeah.
She's doing public appearances again. So what's going on behind the scenes with her?
Well, I mean, they are making a success of their lives in California. They have to because of the, they are completely financially independent now from the royal family. Rumours. So, on MasterChef in Australia, obviously she's had her own cooking show or lifestyle show on Netflix.
Yeah.
That deal with Netflix continues. So there are rumours of a Diana 30th anniversary Diana program next year.
Wow.
Harry, very busy. He'll be back over soon because he always has a week of engagements in September. But obviously it's a very divisive issue with the Sussexes, and I think it's got way too divisive. They have chosen a path. They thought they could have a hybrid role, which is in the book, of, 6 months of royal stuff, 6 months of other stuff. They thought that was an offer, and then it was whipped away. So they've gone for it. And,
so this Diana special that could be happening next year in Netflix, how are the royal family going to feel about this? Is it going to be more of Harry and Meghan spilling secrets now about Diana?
Well, who knows? Okay. I mean, the boys have said, the men have said, on the 10th anniversary of Diana's death, I remember them saying in 2007, this big concert at Wembley, big service in London, that's it. And then 20th anniversary, similar thing, big, statue and, that was unveiled a few years later. But big documentaries, that's it. But, it's unavoidable. Diana is such an icon and has such a role in both the lives of William and Harry that it's impossible to ignore it's a day that nobody will ever forget, people who live through it.
But surely with William and Harry not speaking, I'm presuming William's going to be really peed off that Harry is, again, cashing in on his family.
Yeah, I mean, the cashing in allegation obviously is difficult and contentious. They have a Netflix deal and they have, they're executive producers, so they have editorial control. Yeah. And it will be Harry's take on it. And obviously, it's a tragedy. It is still a tragedy. It's affected him hugely. Everything he does, and by the way, William as well, everything they do is to protect their families and to protect their wives. And they have, from what not happened to them, what happened to Diana. And you have to say successfully, the days of paparazzi chasing them around are mostly over, although not completely. Harry is very driven by that. You see it in his book all the time. He's invoking the memory of Diana when he's talking about the court cases, how to protect Meghan, the ongoing security cases when he's in the UK. When she and the kids came to the UK recently, they didn't come to London. That seems to be the big sticking point for him. Yeah. Because his private security detail are not allowed to carry guns in the UK.
Yeah. Now, you do also point out in the book that at Archwell, they have a higher than average turnover of staff. Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, it may just be a Hollywood thing. It was something that was noticed at Kensington Palace when they were in the UK. Recollections may vary, of course. Harry... and in the Netflix series, they say there were justified reasons for that. I think it's just different expectations and different ways of doing things. And running a royal palace is not the same as running a much bigger PR operation in Hollywood. It's actually quite a small team of advisors and PR people. And, certainly the people I've spoken to say there were offers of help all the time that were increasingly rebuffed and ignored.
Offers of help from the palace?
Yes. I mean, the idea that the palace was briefing against them and working against them is very much challenged. But obviously the Team Sussex line is that they were increasingly isolated and alone. And in 2019, there was this sort of nobody was talking to each other. And by the start of 2020, they're gone. Wowzers.
So where do they stand, Harry and Meghan, now in Hollywood? Are they... Because I feel like when they first moved there, it was all glitz and glamour. They had so many celebrity mates around them. But it feels like people are now avoiding them.
Well, I don't think their true friends are avoiding them.
Okay.
No, she's still got plenty of. They've still got plenty of star power. I think there is an interesting blurring of the line, and it's probably a generational thing in this country as well. Royalty has never been celebrity in this country. And I think for most British people that's still the same. But the younger generation and Americans and Australians don't really get that line.
Okay.
But there has to be a bit of magic about him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're just the same as you and me.
Yeah.
And so then there's less interest.
I mean, speak for yourself, mate. There's plenty of magic around me, Simon.
I know. Okay. I can sense it. But you know what I mean? The more chat shows you appear on, the more people make fun of you, the more reality shows you appear on. Yeah. It's less royal. So that is an issue. But they are still the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. They've agreed not to use HRH or any royal branding, which is where actually Archewell came from, because they had to ditch Sussex Royal. Yeah.
You also say in the book that, interestingly, Meghan lied about her own wedding vows.
Well, that was in the Netflix series. They both said that the public wedding at St George's Chapel, that amazing day in 2018, was sort of some big publicity event or some sort of like a Truman Show for them. Yeah. And that they really got married 3 days before privately with the Archbishop of Canterbury. Now, if that was true, then the Archbishop of Canterbury broke the law. And he gently afterwards said, I did not break the law. The legal, proper wedding was what everybody saw in St George's Chapel. Yeah, it's something that Meghan said actually in the Oprah interview, which came before the Netflix series. There have been so many now. The Oprah interview, of course, is where she also said that questions, concerns and conversations were had about the colour of their first child, which, obviously was very much countered by the family. And one of the reasons for, the rift.
What did Prince Philip think of Meghan? Because my knowledge of him is that he was a straight talker, would often say things that were inappropriate, so he probably wouldn't have held his tongue.
Yeah, well, you say he was born in the early 1920s, so he was of his generation. Let's put it that way. I think, but not to do with race or nationality. It was more to do with the actress bit. And he is purported to say, to have said that actresses were for stepping out with, not for marrying. And, that it is a different role. I mean, you can play a role as a royal, of course you can, but being an actress and being a royal are two separate things. Yeah. That was his view. And, you'd have to say, given what happened, and sadly it was avoidable, but what happened is she was out as a working member of the family in 18 months. Yeah. He may have had a point.
So do you think Meghan was misunderstood by people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cultural change. I mean, it's a cultural difference. Nobody intended it for it to go wrong. But there's American over-familiarity. And she admitted, ignorance about what it was all about. Yeah. She didn't know literally didn't know who some of the family were.
Do you believe that?
And there's no reason why she should. Well, there's no reason why she should know who Prince Andrew, as he then was or Sarah Ferguson or whatever.
I think if I was marrying into Donald Trump's family, I'd probably Google the Trumps and figure out who everyone is. Yeah. I don't believe that Meghan Markle didn't know who Prince Andrew was.
Okay. Well, so she ended up at Royal Lodge, which he, of course, now doesn't live in. Yeah. And had a chance meeting with Her late Majesty, and that's where the controversy over the curtsy,
yes,
comes from. But, American over-familiarity, British reserve, hugging, touching. You can imagine British people going, I hardly know you.
Yeah.
And obviously, there was only one Fab Four moment, which I went to in the City of London when it was William, Catherine, Harry and Meghan before the wedding.
Only one Fab Four moment?
There was only one time on stage, and apparently there were tensions backstage at that about who was speaking first and precedence and all of that sort of thing.
Gosh.
And of course it doesn't matter, but it also really does matter.
Yeah.
And you have to know where you are in the pecking order.
So you think Meghan thought that she was higher than the future king and queen?
I just don't think she got it.
No.
And she had a fantastic one and only joint engagement with the late Queen. They had an away day to Chester, which was brilliant, But her memory of it and Harry's memory of it is she was just criticised for walking in front of the Queen. She was criticised for not having a hat. She was criticised for this and what she was wearing and stuff. So that their memory is very, obviously very jaundiced of their short time. And I think there just came a point where he thought, stuff it.
Yeah.
That I'm not going to put her through what my mum went through.
Yeah.
Thought that there could be a hybrid role. And that option was then whipped away.
Everything is digital now, isn't it? Your money, your photos, even your loyalty card at the coffee shop. So there's something quietly brilliant about owning one thing that isn't on a screen. Real gold bullion. The weight of it, the shine, it's just a lovely thing to hold. The Pure Gold Company, which was voted the UK's best gold broker, makes owning physical gold really simple. Tax-free gold coins from the Royal Mint with friendly one-to-one guidance from your first question to final delivery. There's no jargon, no pressure, no call centre queues. It's insured to your door or stored in a secure professional vault. So visit the Pure Gold Company today and tell them JJ sent you. Final one on Meghan before we move on to Harry. After everything we've just spoken about, to you, who is the real Meghan Markle?
I think Meghan has been the Duchess has been very authentic, as they say, all the way through. I mean, she was in her late 30s when they married. Bear in mind, she when she married Harry, she was older than Diana was when Diana died. So she had a whole lifetime of experience, a long lifetime of experience.
Yeah.
She wasn't learning the ropes. She knew the ropes. She knew what she thought. She knew what she agreed with and what she didn't agree with. Diana was 19.
Yeah.
She was so young.
Yeah.
So I think, Meghan is very smart. She built a very successful career in Hollywood. And, her critics will say she didn't give it a chance. And Team Sussex and, her husband will say, we won't give it a chance.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Harry then, what's the true state of his finances? Because all I hear is that he's running out of cash. He's not bringing any money into the family. So it's all
they've got a big legal bill landing soon. I mean, that is a major issue for everybody involved in that particular court case. He obviously won previous court cases where he it was net in profit on those.
Yeah.
But the last one, not so much, or completely not. And in fact, that's being sorted out at the moment. His legacy from his mother is still substantial. But they do have, fundamentally, they have to make money. Yeah. Not least for the very expensive security they have that he pays for. We don't pay for that.
He pays himself.
He pays for that in California.
Well, how much are they forking out on security?
I don't know. It's millions. It's millions because it's 24/7. And it's some of his former guys from Scotland Yard are doing it. But I stress we're not paying for it. And the king isn't paying for him his private money either. Yeah. The sticking point is what happens when they come to the UK.
Yeah. Well, what about Invictus Games? Because we were told basically that it's on the brink and that they can't get sponsors involved as much as they could do back, 5-6 years ago. And there's a chance in the near future it's going to have to be shut down.
Well, obviously it's very expensive to do, and it's not. It doesn't have the new shininess that it had in 2014. And I interviewed Harry at the first Invictus Games in London and up in Birmingham. There were events happening in Birmingham. I honestly don't know if it's in trouble. He has said that he thought it should probably close after the first 2 or 3, and everybody was against it. And he was like, okay, fine, we'll keep going, because it's really valuable and it's really valued by the people and the families who take part in it. And it gets bigger and bigger. I mean, more and more countries are getting involved. So, yeah, I think he saw the funding is difficult, but they're doing it for the people who get so much out of it. And it's definitely going to be his biggest legacy is what he's done for wounded service personnel. On the finances, it must be difficult. We know with the Commonwealth Games, it's difficult. Yeah. And you need some big money behind it.
Do you think his reputation has tarnished the Invictus Games at all? No.
No, I mean, I think there's still a lot of sympathy for Harry, despite everything that's been said and done. Because of what happened to him when he was 12, what happened to his mother when he was 12, and what he's done since. So yeah, invading his own privacy, invading the privacy of his close family, what he said about his close family, obviously that's very controversial. But the king wants, some sort of, wants to reunite. He's barely seen those grandchildren. He saw them recently at Highgrove. And when Harry comes back in September, as he will for a week of engagements, Wellchild being one of his oldest patronages, that's Harry, It's a case of look at what you're missing. I think it's a massive missed opportunity, and just egos got in the way on both sides. Okay. And in 2019, towards the end of 2019, they simply weren't speaking to each other. It's a really, state the obvious, it's a really strange family. And we all have family problems, but we don't get our secretaries or our PAs to talk to the secretaries or PAs of our dad or our brother. Most of us don't.
No, I definitely don't. I do with the staff. I don't talk to the staff here directly. They have to go through someone else.
Right. Okay.
But,
I'm getting a good picture here of how this operation works.
Well, do you think Harry and Meghan sometimes make it too much about themselves?
Well, they have to monetize it, don't they? I mean, what option have they got? They've done a behind-the-scenes documentary on polo. Didn't go so well. Yeah. So yeah, it has to be about them. It'll be very interesting to see. I think in terms of Meghan, going back to the book, in terms of Meghan changing the family, changing the monarchy, and Harry changing the monarchy, they will have a role in that in the decades to come. Seeing what role their children have. Will they use the titles they're entitled to, Prince and Princess, HRH? Yeah. Or not? Yeah. Can they have a hybrid role supporting their cousins back in the UK? That would be nice. Who knows? Or it would be nice to think that there wasn't an estrangement forever.
I don't think the British people are ever going to have a royal that's got an American accent. That doesn't sit right. Some California kids running around going, "Hey, so great to meet you." Yeah. No.
Okay. Yeah. Wallace Simpson tried it and didn't get very far.
Well, if Harry and Meghan's popularity wanes, surely that means that everything they touch is going to wane. The Invictus Games, Netflix deals, everything is going to start to subside and die down.
Yeah, it's going to get more and more difficult.
Yeah.
Will she go back to acting? That I can't see that really, because you're never going to be able to see her character. All you're seeing is the Duchess of Sussex.
Yeah.
I've got a sneaking feeling she'll get into politics. Governor of California.
She can't be worse than Gavin Newsom. Yeah. Anyway, Princess Kate. So Kate and Meghan's rift. I don't want to put these women against each other. I don't want to put them against each other, but let's put them against each other.
All right.
Who was to blame there? Who started the tension? Was one of them more jealous of the other one?
I don't think they were ever going to be close mates, and obviously they weren't. But I think to have a rift, you have to have a friendship beforehand. They hardly knew each other. They hardly know each other. There was the American over-familiarity. There was the British reserve, the hugging. There was obviously, recollections vary on what happened before the wedding and Princess Charlotte's dress and who made who cry, all of that stuff. And that was really the end of it, apart from the very small team at Kensington Palace who supported William, Harry and Catherine. Yeah. There were obviously differences of opinion on how staff should be treated. And the offices were split in the end, so that William and Catherine had their people and Harry and Meghan had their people. And that was, that was the beginning of the end, really. I mean, I think Harry was always, he says, he was annoyed, unhappy that people in the family were telling him, you're rushing into this, take it easy.
Yeah.
And he bristled at that. It's all right for you. You've got a wife and a family. He was genuinely worried nobody would ever marry him. Nobody would ever put up with everything that goes with being Prince Harry. The two previous relationships had ended with those two girlfriends by the girlfriends, not because they didn't love Harry, but they hated everything that went with it. And he told me and other royal correspondents he was genuinely worried, would anybody ever sign up to it? He didn't have university, the sort of 4 years of normality at university, which William had. So when Meghan came along and they clicked, like on the second date, they both decided we're going to go for it. I mean, that's how quick it was.
Wow. See, I've never heard that version before. It makes me feel much more sympathetic to Harry now.
I think everybody should be sympathetic to Harry.
Yeah.
I will never forget watching him walk behind his mother's coffin.
Yeah.
And that's obviously has had a profound effect on him. It's a tragedy. If Diana was alive now, none of this would have happened.
Yeah. Okay.
She would have banged their heads together.
Yeah. That's a shame. So how did Kate quietly get her revenge in the wake of the Oprah interview?
How did?
Catherine. I should say Catherine. Our viewers hate it when I call her Kate.
Oh, right,
so
okay.
I should call her Catherine.
Well, she hates it too.
Oh, yeah.
Because so she was Kate at sixth form in uni.
Yeah.
And William does call her Kate in the engagement interview. But I'm told, she made it very clear afterwards, I'm actually to the staff.
Yeah.
I'm actually Catherine. Could we use Catherine from now on? And it took us in the media about 10 years to get our heads around that. So you have been told.
Yes.
Catherine allegedly was instrumental in getting the Recollections May Vary comment into that palace statement. She thought the initial, after the allegations of racism and whatever in the Oprah interview, she thought the palace statement was too beige and too diplomatic. And she wanted to get in there that, okay, that's their version of events. The statement came from the Queen, the late Queen, but it was on behalf of the whole family. She pushed for Recollections May Vary to go in there, just making a little point. Okay, that's your truth, as Oprah said.
Yeah.
But it's not the one we remember.
I guess some critics of Catherine would say that she's robotic and very much playing the role of the dutiful wife and the future queen. What's she really like behind closed doors?
She's not robotic. I mean, she's very smart. Probably the smartest of the lot of them. She is fortunate. William is fortunate that they had those years at university without media coverage and media intrusion to decide, is this a love affair? Yes, it is a love affair. And then the royal family learnt the lessons from Diana. They didn't rush her into it. I mean, Diana was engaged with him months and hardly knew Charles. Just mad. Catherine was given, so fair play to Charles and the late Queen. They gave Catherine time. They gave William time. There was no pressure. Did she want to enter this eyes wide open? Yes, she did. When she asked for some sort of commitment from William in 2007, he, of course, that's when they broke up. He ended the relationship. He resumed the relationship after a few weeks. She played a blinder. She didn't sell a story. She just played a blinder. She, went to the nightclubs in London with her friends, pictured in all the papers. He was down on his army camp in Dorset going, oh my God. He was the one who picked up the phone.
Okay.
So she's not robotic. She's really coming into her own now. Obviously, the cancer treatment has sort of turbocharged that. Everything you see now, everything you read now is in her own words. Public speaking was never her thing. So she had no experience of that like Meghan did. Yeah. So she's received coaching on that. She's definitely getting better in that. And, William couldn't do it without her. William could not do it, and he won't do it without her. It's a very lonely job. Charles was lonely for many years, which is why he said Camilla is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
It's the one person you can really trust. The one person Queen Elizabeth could totally trust was Philip. As they got into the car at the end of the day and debriefed on things.
Yeah.
And staff, following in the cars behind used to wait for that moment because they'd finished a day of engagements and they'd be telling each other what went right and what went wrong, roaring with laughter. And they'd all be looking at us, seeing what stories are they telling.
Lovely. So what role did Queen Camilla have in pushing old Andrew out of the family firm there?
Yeah, well, I think that is a good example, almost certainly, of unvarnished, impartial advice from probably Catherine and Camilla to their husbands, saying this is absolutely toxic, and it wouldn't have happened if the late Queen was still alive, but it happened when Charles and William were at the controls, and it is obviously completely toxic. For the monarchy, they had to get him as far away as possible. I mean, it's almost unprecedented what's happened to be de-princed, let alone being de-duked. We were told for years, it would take an act of parliament, it would never happen. Turns out, if you're the king, you're the king. Yeah, and you can sign a document, and suddenly it's all gone. Yeah. So it was his decision, but there were several people, I'm sure, involved in that decision.
And yet, he still lives on the royal grounds, so he can be dethroned, but nothing really is happening to him. He's not been exiled and kicked to a foreign territory or something.
No, well, not yet. I mean, there is still.
Do you think that might happen?
Well, I'm not going to get drawn into the legal quagmire there, but there are, he was arrested back in February, and we're told that the police are examining what the police have to examine. Yeah. He's living on the royal estate. I think it's fair to point out we're not paying for him. The taxpayer is not paying for him. His living expenses, that property is the king's private property and money. So he's looking after his brother, which is what their mum would have wanted. But it's an incredible downfall considering where he was 10 years ago. I watched the infamous Newsnight interview again the other day. He's given so many chances to say, look, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I shouldn't have stayed friends with him, Epstein, for so long. Yeah. My thoughts are with the survivors. He's given opportunities to say that again and again. Even at the end, Emily Maitlis says, is there anything else you want to say? Yeah. So nothing.
Is Andrew just really thick, or is he poorly advised?
He was well advised before Newsnight. His PR advisor said to him, "Don't do it. You can't win." Yeah. And Andrew went ahead and did it, and the PR guy walked out. That was his advice. So he said, well, "Okay, fine. You're on your own." Yeah. But Andrew, to answer the first part of your question, how intelligent he is, he thought that interview had gone well, which is mind blowing.
Yeah. So he is thick. Well, I'm going on record of that. Right, Andrew's thick. In your words. Is there a big royal story that you've ever not been able to report?
No, wait, you're looking for some big scoop there. I'm afraid I can't give you that. We actually, you know what? When we delayed coverage of Harry in Afghanistan, that was actually quite controversial. But there was, within the entire British media, there was a gentleman's agreement that we knew he was out there, but we wouldn't publicise it until he got back. And the quid pro quo for that was we were able to send a Press Association photographer and a TV cameraman to go and record stuff for publication once he came back. Now, the idea was the tour of duty was going to be for 3 months. It ended up being half that, I think, because it was an American website, or an American website blew it, and an Australian magazine, so it wasn't the British media. But that was controversial, actually. There were people saying, well, why are you doing deals with the palace? So the answer to your question is, at the time, we couldn't report that. I think it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It was about obviously protecting him, but actually more importantly, because he was known as a bullet magnet. But he also, everybody around him needed to be protected.
Yeah.
He wanted to serve on the front line. His granny, the Queen, approved that, wouldn't approve it for William. And that was the deal. So, yeah, we couldn't report that at the time. We did afterwards.
Why did she approve it for Harry but not for William?
Spare.
Wow. That must have a psychological effect on him, surely.
Yeah, well, bigger than we know, bigger than we knew. I mean, obviously it's a joke, but it's also serious.
Yeah.
The heir and the spare. Diana used the heir and the spare.
Yeah.
And it's obviously, you know, Harry uses it very pointedly as the title of his book. William was desperate, by the way. William was desperate to serve on the front line. And in the end, he had to give up and had to retrain as a
helicopter pilot.
You know, operational, very important job.
Yeah.
As a search and rescue pilot, but, you know, in Wales, not Afghanistan.
Yeah. Flipping heck. So do you think the royal family have learned from the mistakes made around Diana's death?
She changed the monarchy. She changed us. I mean, I remember that really weird, horrible week 29 years ago almost.
Yeah.
It changed the country, how we mourn, how they mourn. You know, she was so...
That's right, because you say in the book that is it possible to show grief or to grieve for someone who you don't actually know? But you said, you say that actually at the time, people were openly crying in the streets.
Oh, yeah, and that was new.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, I mean, even thinking of it now, I'm getting goosebumps because it was such a horrible week. And so, and, you know, at the end of it, of course, we saw Harry and William walking behind the funeral, behind the coffin. I was, you know, reporting at Kensington Palace, the huge floral tribute outside the gates of Kensington Palace there. You know, and we know there are different stages to grief. There was anger. Yeah. There was anger towards the media. You killed her. I got spat at.
Yes, you said that in the book, yes.
There was anger, growing anger towards the monarchy. You killed her. You know, Charles and Camilla were public enemy number one. The flag, of course, that wasn't flying at half-mast at Buckingham Palace, and the Queen dug her heels on that because
the royal standard.
They've never had a flag at half-mast at Buckingham Palace. They do now. Yeah. I mean, there's a Union Jack, which I call Diana's flag. There's a Union Jack flying there right now, just in case somebody important dies.
Okay.
So it can be half-masted.
Yeah.
So, yeah, every day there's a reminder of Diana there.
Wowzers. Well, how did Camilla go from being so disliked to now being so loved by people?
Being herself.
Yeah.
Slowly, very gentle introduction to, well, not only us, but the royal family. I mean, the late Queen Elizabeth was Supreme Governor of the Church of England, had massive issue with divorcees. But she had to soften her attitude because Charles said Camilla is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
So 1997, public enemy number one, disappears from not really ever in public view, but 1999, I was there at the Ritz when they had their first engagement together, coming out of the Ritz Hotel, I don't know, 50, 60 photographers, just a blizzard of flashbulbs. We can't use that footage on TV because it gives people shocks. We have to slow-mo it down because there are so many flashbulbs. 2002, she's in the royal box near the Queen, but not next to the Queen, for the Golden Jubilee. 2005, they're married. She is... I mean, it's an overused word. She is authentic. She's not Diana. She knows there are some people who are never going to forgive her. She's completely reconciled with that. But she's now in the opinion polls. She's about midway in the opinion polls, which is amazing, given where she was.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a slow burn, and time is a great healer. You know.
Okay. Well, Simon, to wrap up, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing the monarchy over the next few years?
Well, I mean, they have to stay relevant, and by sort of gentle evolution, they do. The late Queen Elizabeth, was the Queen for 70 years in a period of amazing change, and the monarchy was more popular at the end of that reign than it was at the beginning. Yeah, the monarchy gets written off all the time. It was written off in the 1990s when, you know, with all the scandals they were having then. They are still at about in terms of support for a republic, it's still about 25%. It goes up a bit, it goes down a bit. It doesn't change that much, which is obviously a lot higher with younger generation. But guess what happens to younger people? They get older.
Yeah.
And sort of attitudes soften. So if the monarchy can keep evolving, and by the way, Catherine Middleton is a key part of that and how those children are being brought up. Big social change there, big class change there, which was unthinkable a generation before.
Yeah.
Then I think the monarchy will continue. Getting rid of the monarchy, I wouldn't say, is on page one of anybody's list of priorities. There are much more important things to sort out than how we choose our head of state. But if we had an elected president, that would still cost money.
Yeah, yeah.
And who's going to be president?
Tony Blair.
Yeah, well, watch this space.
Simon Vigar, the Four Wives of Windsor. Absolutely phenomenal read. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you.
We'll put a link in the comments below so you can click through and get your own copy of it. Will there be, I always ask everyone who comes on with a book, will there be an audio version?
There is an audio version, and
Fantastic.
I think...
Is it you reading it?
They got me to do it.
Fantastic. Wonderful.
I was available.
Well, thank you very much, mate.
No, pleasure.
And thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, leave your comments below and hit the hype button. And we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye. Right, a quick pause in the podcast to tell you about our sponsor, Incogni. You had those phone calls from numbers you don't recognize, or you go in your inbox and there's emails for stuff you did not sign up for. Well, that's because someone somewhere is selling your private information. That's where today's sponsor comes in, Incogni. They will contact these people who have been taking your information and they'll say, oi, stop, delete it. Go to the website, incogni.com. You type in the details. 2 minutes later, Incogni is sorting it out for you automatically. And because I love you, I've got you a discount. It ain't 10%, it ain't 20, 60% off. 60% off an annual Incogni plan. Just go to incogni.com/Daily Expresso or click the link in the episode description box below.